monochrome street. I'm the only frame in focus. Everyone else walks by in soft, unfocused course. Backpacks, crosswalks, heads bowed to a screen. I move inside the picture, but I'm cut between. Their faces blur like pages flip too fast. Names pass by, but none of them stay attached. Shirts still crisp, but the mood hangs wrinkled. Heart on silent, crowd sounds sprinkled. I'm in the middle of this moving scene, but I feel printed on a separate screen. Their footsteps rhyme on the cobblestone floor. Still every small hello stops at the door. I'm a foreground ghost in a crowded frame, standing center still outside the game. All these shoulders brushing past my sleeve, but I'm the only one I can't leave. If the camera pans, they'll fade in rows. I stay stuck here where the shutter froze. I'm a foreground ghost in a crowded frame, half in the light, half with no name. Toned up shirt, but my chest feels loose. Tight little smile like a borrowed excuse. Street side trees draw shade across my shoes. Sunlight hits but doesn't break through. Friends talk close, trading stories by the slice. I laugh on time but the warmth feels twice. Words fall down between the cracks I trace. I nod along but my mind leaves the place. I match their steps just to look aligned, but I keep walking out of my own mind. Mouth says fine, voice stays thin and low. Every small joke lands but doesn't grow. I'm a foreground ghost in a crowded frame, standing center still outside the game. All these shoulders brushing past my sleeve, but I'm the only one I can't leave. If the camera pans, they'll fade in rows. I stay stuck here where the shutter froze. I'm a foreground ghost in a crowded frame, half in the light, half with no name. If I turned around and just stepped wide, would the whole scene close up over the slide? Would my outline smudge in an empty air like I was never really there? I bite back words till they lose their sound. Outnumbered here, but not found. I'm a foreground ghost in a crowded frame, breathing quiet while the street stays the same. All these shoulders brushing past my sleeve, still I'm the only one I can't leave. If the credits roll and the pavement clears, I'll stay printed on a strip of years. I'm a foreground ghost in a crowded frame, someone in focus, missing from the name. Shoulder to shoulder in a borrowed lane, I walk inside someone else's frame. The small talk floats like distant rain. All of it close, none of it stays. Phone lights bloom in their quiet hands. Thumbs keep time like a private band. I nod along to a joke off beat. Smile stitched on hanging by a thread in the street. I'm right here, center of the scene, but the world plays on like I'm off screen. Every sentence dies before the end, so I just play the role of friend of a friend. I'm muted in the middle of a crowded day. Mouth shapes words that never make their way. Laughter spills but never hits my side. I stay small and folded up inside. If the city called each person by name, I'd be the glitch they skip in the frame. Standing where the noise runs wild and wide, stood in the middle, nowhere to hide. Crosswalk stripes like a barcode floor. We scan through life, then scan some more. Their stories low while mine time out. Signal strong, but my line drops out. Friends trade plans in an easy chain. I was thinking turns to it's okay. I swallow back the part I meant, where my silence like an old accent. I trace out lines just to feel my shape, while every open door feels like escape. But I laugh on cue, so loud, the volume's fine, just not for me. I'm muted in the middle of a crowded day. Mouth shapes words that never make their way. Laughter spills but never hits my side. I stay small and folded up inside. If the city called each person by name, I'll be the glitch they skip in the frame. Standing where the noise runs wild and wide. Sit in the middle, nowhere to hide. What if I spoke too loud one time? Let the truth cut through the traffic line. Would it land wrong? Would it bend the room? Turn this quiet corner into bloom? Or would the sound just thin and fall? One more unread note against the wall. I'm muted in the middle of a crowded day. Mouth shapes words that never make their way. Laughter spills but never hits my side. I stay small and folded up inside. If the roll call runs and the lights all fade, I'll be that name nobody quite heard say. Standing where the noise runs wild to ride. Feel them in the middle, nowhere to hide. Feel them in the middle, nowhere to hide. Packed sidewalk, we move in a single scroll. Same street, different tabs in a hidden folder roll. The small jokes bounce, but I stay offline. Smile copy pasted, but it's not quite mine. Voices stack up in a crowded feed. Every how you been runs light on me. I stand center frame where the crosswalk spills. Heart on max gain, voice stuck on still. I'm right here where the laughter blooms, but the punchlines dodge my empty rooms. Mouth shapes words and they stall mid-air, so I just wear quiet like I'm not quite there. Mic off, room full, I'm a silent track, playing under all the noise in black. All these faces brush and slide on through. No one tunes the channel set on blue. If the crowd gets loud and the night runs deep, I'm the volume bar they never keep. Mic off, room full, standing in between. Half in the picture, missing from the scene. Collar sharp, but my thoughts come frayed. Ironed out talks on a looped upgrade. They trade plans like a group chat thread. I type replies in my head instead. Street lights smear on the tinted glass. Ride share back with the traffic mass. Window hands cold, but I play it cool. Yeah, it's all good, that's my oldest rule. I laugh on cue so the frame looks right. Leave my real lines parked out of sight. I lip sync fine with a steady face, while my pulse drums out in another place. Hey, hey, hey. Mic off, room full, I'm a silent track, playing under all the noise in black. All these faces brush and slide on through. No one tunes the channel set on blue. If the crowd gets loud and the night runs deep, I'm the volume bar they never keep. Mic off, room full, standing in between. Half in the picture, missing from the scene. What if I unmuted, broke my own rule? Let one raw sentence cut through the pool. Would it fall flat like a clipped out take, or bend this night till the frames all shake? I hold my tongue till the taste turns thin. Wear this slow game tight on my skin. Mic off, room full, I'm a silent track. Soft percussion, you don't notice back. All these faces brush and slide on through. I keep fading in a neutral hue. If the credits roll on this crowded street and the last joke dies beneath their feet, I'll still stand here, quiet but cool. Same old story, mic off, room full. yeah. Pack line, I'm pressed in a borrowed lane. All these faces pass like a loading chain. Group chat laughs spill over my shoes. I stand right here, but stay out of view. Ticket in hand, but my name feels wrong. Stamped on the side of somebody else's song. I nod on beat when the stories land. Hold my questions in the same old hand. I'm outlined sharp in the crowded frame, but inside I'm running on a different game. Heavy, how you been? Skims off the top. By the time I speak, the subject drops. Standing room, no place for my kind of quiet. Heart on low, gain under all this riot. Every shoulder brush is like I'm in the way. Still no one really hears what I don't say. If they draw a map of this busy space, I'm the blank margin with no marked place. Room for everyone, lights in my face. Still I'm here on standing room, no place. Oh, place. Standing room, no place. Oh, place. Yeah. Overhead signs spell where to go next. I just trail behind, reading subtext. They plan weekends like a headline reel. I file my lines where they won't reveal. Smile on cue with the practice tilt. Hide all the thoughts I forgot I built. Feet keep time with the city's beat, but my pulse walks off on a side street. I speak in drafts that I never sent. Fold them small at the sentence end. Every open door feels pre-assigned, so I stand back, underscored, underlined. Standing room, no place for my kind of quiet. Heart on low, gain under all this riot. Every shoulder brush is like I'm in the way. Still no one really hears what I don't say. If they draw a map of this busy space, I'm the blank margin with no marked place. Room for everyone, lights in my face. Still I'm here on standing room, no place. Oh, place. Standing room, no place. Oh, play. What if I stepped out of this marked off road? Let one raw sentence finally show. Would the walls pull back, make a little space? Or would my voice thin out, leave no trace? I hold my breath till the moment's gone, then ride the silence I'm stranded on. Standing room, no place for my kind of quiet. Heart on low, gain under all this riot. Every shoulder brush is like I'm in the way. Still no one really hears what I don't say. If the lights cut out and they leave this floor, all their laughter slips under the door. I walk home slow with the same old face, carrying this standing room, no place. Same old street, everybody plays a part. Shoes in motion, conversation start. I walk the line where the sidewalk ends. Hold my breath while the daylight spins. Group chat laughs spill over my side. I lift a smile just to stay inside. Names trade places in the passing talk. I keep mine folded in a pocket of the walk. I'm standing clear in the camera sight. Outline clean in the afternoon light, but all my lines stay stuck on hold like captions missing under stories. I'm barely in the picture when the crowd leans close. Face in frame, but the feeling never shows. Every brush of shoulders, every passing glance. Still, I'm background in my own romance. If they print this moment for a later view, they'll see everyone before they see me too. Full color scene, but the truth gets thinner. I'm barely in the picture, never quite the center. Cafe window air reflected in the glass. My outline faint where the others pass. Their stories loop like a daily feed. I edit mine down to what they need. Let me know floats over the noise. I'm not on time with the practice poise. Questions rise but I mute them slow. Change the subject, let the moment go. I'm right here where the focus should land, but my real thoughts slip out of hand. All my sharp edges blurred on cue, so the frame stays easy, soft and smooth. I'm barely in the picture when the crowd leans close. Face in frame, but the feeling never shows. Every brush of shoulders, every passing glance. Still, I'm background in my own romance. If they print this moment for a later view, they'll see everyone before they see me too. Full color scene, but the truth gets thinner. I'm barely in the picture, never quite the center. But if I step one line to the side, let one true sentence cut through the tide, would the focus shift, would the scene deform, give this quiet heart a different form? Or would my voice fall flat and small, just one more smudge on a busy wall? I'm barely in the picture when the lights turn down. Silhouette stitched to a crowded town. Every shared story, every headline spin leaves a blank margin where I should have been. If tomorrow flips through today's old reel, they'll find their laughs but not what I feel. I'll keep walking under all this glitter, still barely in the picture, edges growing thinner. Edges growing thinner. Faces stacked in the window light. Someone's playlist leaking through one ear. Small talk skipping from near to near. I hold the rail like a borrowed line. Feet in sync but I'm out of time. Their stories circle in a steady flow. Mine stay cued on, maybe I'll show. I'm standing clear in the center aisle. Frame just right with a practice smile. But every word that I mean for real drops to a level no one can feel. I'm here with the volume left low. Mouth moves soft where the loud parts go. All this noise pressed close to my skin. Still can't hear where I begin. If you turn the city down on one voice track, you fade me out and never fade me back. Right in the middle of the late train glow, I'm living with the volume left low. With the ceiling fans, glass rings marking the wooden stands. Friends leaning over crowded sound. I keep my thoughts on the lost and found. Laughter stacks in a bright tall wave. I ride the edge like I'm trying to behave. Jokes land hard on the table side. Mine stay lined on the inward side. I nod on beat so the scene looks fine. Hide my truth in a smaller line. Every by the way I try to speak to a whisper halfway through the week. I'm here with the volume left low. Mouth moves soft where the loud parts go. All this noise pressed close to my skin. Still can't hear where I begin. If you turn the city down to one voice track, you'd fade me out and never fade me back. Right in the What if I reach for the dial one night? Let one sharp truth cut through the light. Would the room tilt? Would the mix detune? Make a little space for a different tune? Or would my sound clip out and fall? Just one more line, swallowed by the wall. I'm here with the volume left low, heartbeat steady where the speakers don't go. All these faces brushing in stereo, still I'm running on a solo show. If tomorrow replays this crowded track, they'll hum the parts that never held me back. I'll be the line only I still know, living with the volume left low. Shut plans, drift 2 doors away. Laugh stack up in the thinning light. Text me later, circling left and right. I walk slow on the painted line. Bag on one side, thoughts on mine. Group photos forming near the stairs. I hold the rail, counting empty chairs. There's a place for coats and a place for shoes. Spots for stories they always use. But when it comes to where I fit, I just stand back on the outer grid. Feels like there's room for everyone else. Tables pulled closer, hands stretched out. Names called over the noise and spells. Mine stays quiet, circling around. If you drew a chart of who sits where, lines will cross but not quite there. I'm in the scene but off the shelf, living in a room for everyone else. Crowded stairs at the station gate. Friends pair off while the trains run late. Tickets flash in a practice row. Someone's talking about a late night show. I nod once when they glance my way. Step aside so they can pass, okay. Plans branch out like a city map. Every route marked, mine left blank. There's a seat reserved on the outbound line. Spots with names printed clear in sign. But when the count hits all checked in, I'm the space left over at the end. Feels like there's room for everyone else. Tables pulled closer, hands stretched out. Names called over the noise and spells. Mine stays quiet, circling around. If you drew a chart of who sits where, lines will cross but not quite there. I'm in the scene but off the shelf, living in a room for everyone else. What if I asked for a smaller square? Trace my own corner in the open air. Let one plain sentence land and stay. Not backspace it till it fades away. Would the floor plan shift just a little line? Make one place mark, this one's mine. Or would the ink run thin and melt like it never changed the way it felt? Feels like there's room for everyone else. Chairs pulled tight in a woven ring. All these stories hanging on the shelf. I stay standing, holding nothing in. If tomorrow redraws this crowded floor, marks each step like it did before. I'll still walk slow, talking to myself, moving through a room for everyone else. Living room crowded with borrowed light. paper cups tilting as the hours slide by. Names get passed like a bowl of sweets. Long time no see, trading back their weeks. I stand near coats on the hallway wall, half in the frame, half not there at all. There's a list somewhere that I can't see. Every life stand meant to be. But when I look for where I belong, all I find is space between their songs. I'm an unlisted guest in a crowded night, here in person, not in the invite. Every chair filled, every story addressed, but no one's saving room for the rest. If they read back who made this evening best, my name won't trouble the printed list. Glass in my hand, tight shirt in my chest, standing here like an unlisted guest. Kitchen talk over plastic plates, inside jokes running figure eight. Someone says, remember last July? I wear a smile that never quite applies. Photo snap with the flash too bright. I step aside to fix the light. Later on, scrolling through the set, I'm the edge of a sleeve they almost forget. There's a head count, call before the fun. Who's all coming? Then it's done. When the tally hits that perfect sum, I'm the leftover number that doesn't come. I'm an unlisted guest in a crowded night, here in person, not in the invite. Every chair filled, every story addressed, but no one's saving room for the rest. If they rap back who made this evening best, my name won't trouble the printed list. Glass in my hand, tight shirt in my chest, standing here like an unlisted guest. What if I wrote my name in there, spelled it out where the noise sits bare? Let one plain truth land on the floor, not swallow it whole like the times before. Would the guest list bend, make a tiny line, find a margin wide enough for mine? Or would the ink in that moment dry, leaving me watching myself pass by? I'm an unlisted guest in a crowded night, leaving footprints nobody will sight. Lights turned down and they call it best. I slip out quiet, jacket to my chest. If tomorrow counts, who felt most blessed? They'll raise a glass to the usual set. I'll walk home slow, shoes beating my chest. Someone they saw, an unlisted. Hotel hall full of borrowed suits, plastic plants and polite black boots. Someone laps near the Canana pay tray, business cards trading names all day. I stand by water with my paper cup, reading badges as the room fills up. Sharp white squares on every chest, mine hangs heavy with an empty rest. Pen on the table, letters all lined, space for a name stuck in my mind. I press down once, then pull it back, leave the whole square clean and intact. Name tag still blank in a crowded room, everybody label blooming in the Zoom. Hands reach out, calling names in rounds, mine stays quiet, floating over sound. If they scan this evening for who was there, I'll be the outline nobody can spare. Standing in the middle of the small talk room, heart tag present on a nameless tune. String lights hum over rented chairs, ice in glasses, practice stairs. Stories swap like a steady stream. Where you from? What's your field? Your team? I smile in rhythm, sip and nod. Stack my answers small and odd. Questions tilt toward the safer ground. I keep the real ones folded down. Sticker surface waiting for my claim, but my hand stalls at the start of my name and could anchor me here in place. I just trace the edges, leave no trace. Name tag still blank in a crowded room. Everybody label blooming in the Zoom. Hands reach out, calling names in rounds. Mind stays quiet, floating over sound. If they scan this evening for who was there, I'll be the outline nobody can spare. Standing in the middle of the small talk bloom. Heart tag present on a nameless tune. What if I wrote it once, full and plain? Let those letters carry all my weight and strain. Pin that square on a borrowed shirt. Let one true sentence touch the dirt. Would someone see past the practice glance? Leave a small space for a different stance. Or would the ink dry flat and thin? Just one more word the room tucks in. Hey, name tag still blank in a crowded room. Lights turn low, they call see you soon. Coats come down from the silver rack. Pairs peel off on the chosen track. If tomorrow lists who crossed this floor, my name won't trouble the final score. I'll walk out slow, hand in my sleeve. Wearing this blank I never let leave. This one's for you and me. Hands go up when the first chord hits. Floorboards shake under heavy kicks. I mouth the words that they all know well, but my own line stays somewhere else. I'm front row close to the speaker skin. Bass in my chest, crowd pouring in. But every thought that I try to share thins out quiet in the heavy air. I'm stuck in the space between voices. All these hearts singing loud by choice. Every chorus lands like a hometown sign. I just hum along on a borrowed line. If you strip this room down to one clear track, you'd hear their joy, you wouldn't hear me back. Standing here where the whole room rejoices. I'm living in the space between voices. Held high, draw a moving sky. Little blue screens in the corner of my eye. Someone leans in, shouts a joke my way. I nod once, let the smile stay. Drums roll out like a second spine. Feet jump hard to the practice time. I clap on two just to look alright. Hands feel empty when they meet the light. Singer calls, let me hear you now. Crowd replies in a single vow. I move my lips with the rest of the floor. No one could tell, I'm not sure what for. I'm stuck in the space between voices. All these hearts singing loud by choice. Every chorus lands like a hometown sign. I just hum along on a borrowed line. If you strip this room down to one clear track, you'd hear their joy, you wouldn't hear me back. Standing here where the whole room rejoices. I'm living in the space between voices. What if I let one raw note message not in the right place, just honest enough to take up space. Would it blend and soft with the rest of the sound, or fall straight down to the sticky ground? I taste the words, then let them slide, keep the real song tucked inside. I'm stuck in the space between voices. Crowd sways hard on familiar choices. Every anthem feels like it should fit. I stand still on the edge of it. When the last chord rings and the lights turn plain, they'll leave with choruses stuck in their brains. I walk home holding what never rejoices. One quiet line in the space between voices. Everyone's painted in warm, bright tones, talking in colors I don't own. Red sleeves waving, gold rings gleam. I stand quiet in a washed out scheme. Their stories bloom in a saturated hue. Jokes in yellow, plans in blue. I'm here with hands in a muted gray. Side of the frame where the light won't stay. Same room, same air, same borrowed night. But I feel printed in black and white, like someone turned my layer down while the rest stay sharp and loud. I'm out of palette in a world this loud. Soft grayscale in a painted crowd. All the colors run and mix just fine. None of them bleed over into mine. If you froze this moment as a still life scene, they glow bright where I stay lean. One small figure on the edge of the light, standing here, out of palette, black and white. Voices blur into a distant screen. I watch the room from a split between. They lean close, trading reds and greens. I stay quiet in the in-between. My smile feels like a photocopy line. Faded edges where it should define. Hands wrap glasses, fingers trace glass. Mine just rest till the minutes pass. Same chair, same floor, same borrowed song. But my shade sits where it doesn't belong. Like an old film spliced into a new reel. Here, but never quite allowed to feel. I'm out of palette in a world this loud. Soft grayscale in a painted crowd. All their colors run and mix just fine. None of them bleed over into mine. If you froze this moment as a still life scene, they'd glow bright where I stay lean. One small figure on the edge of the light, standing here, out of palette, black and white. Out of palette, black and white. If I reach for one small streak of red, let it live honest instead of in my head. Would it stain my sleeve in a crooked line? Mark one place I could call mine. Or would it thin out before it dries? Fade to gray by the time it arrives. So I hold my tones in a careful fist, living in shades that they won't miss. I'm out of palette in a world this loud. Soft grayscale in a painted crowd. They fit together in a living art piece. I keep my colors on a hidden lease. If tomorrow hangs this day on the wall, they'll see their light before my small. One faint figure on the edge of sight, still out of palette, stuck in black and white. Stuck in black and white. Crowded street under late daylight. They all wear something bright and right. Red scarf swinging at someone's side. Yellow cap tilted in an easy stride. Posters shout from the window glass. New tones laid on the passing mass. I walk with them at a quiet speed. Shoes in step but I don't quite lead. Same crosswalk, same striped white line, but I feel traced in a thinner design. Like someone sketched me in pencil first, then filled the rest and left me reversed. Feels like color left early when it came to me. Everyone in full shade, I'm a low-res scene. They glow warm in the usual way. I stay stuck in a washed out gray. If you froze this moment for a gallery wall, they draw circles round them all. I'd be the figure they almost see, where the color left early, quietly. Food court buzz under buzzing lights. Trays slide past in familiar flights. Blue of logos, green of trays. Someone's jacket in a tangerine haze. Friends lean close over painted meals. All these tones matching how it feels. I sit within the same tight square. Hands on the table, nowhere to share. Same plastic chair, same numbered sign, but I fall flat in the frame's design. Like the saturation missed my side. Left a thin grayscale where I hide. Feels like color left early when it came to me. Everyone in full shade, I'm a low-res scene. They glow warm in the usual way. I stay stuck in a washed out gray. If you froze this moment for a gallery wall, they draw circles round them all. I'd be the figure they almost see, where the color left early, quietly. If I traced one streak on my own sleeve, let a small real shade refuse to leave, would it hold its place through the evening spin? Mark one corner I could stand within, or would it thin out before it dries? Fade to background in the busy eyes, so I keep still in this softer hue. Half here with them, half out of view. Feels like color left early when it came to me. Walking in a crowd that can't quite see. All their brightness running side by side. I move quiet on the underside. If tomorrow hangs this day in mind, they'll recall the lies, the laughs, the kind. I'll be the outline passing silently, where the color left early, leaving me. Same street, different light on them. Warm, soft colors on their skin and hems. Talking in shades I don't know how to wear. Hands draw pictures in the open air. I walk beside like a faded line. Shoes in step but out of time. Smile feels thin like a photocopy page. Corners curled at the quietest age. They fit the frame like it's made for them. I fade a little at the outer rim. Same white sky, same piece of land. Still it's gray where I stand. Everyone else looks painted in full. Bright small moments, easy and full. I move through the same soft light, but it all falls short of white. If you blur this day into one long strand, you part that slips through your hand, faint and quiet, gray where I stand. Gray where I stand. Plastic cup on a park bench rail, steam lifted in a fragile trail. They share stories that lean and glow, names and places I have no. Laughter rings with a gentle weight. I nod along just a second late. Words line up, then they lose their place. Stay on my tongue like an aftertaste. They sink into every piece of this view, like it was built to carry them through. Same low breeze brushing every strand, still it's gray where I stand. Everyone else looks painted in full, bright small moments, easy and full. I move through the same soft light, but it all falls short of white. If you blur this day into one long strand, you would see color where the shoulders land. I'd be the part that slips through your hand, faint and quiet, gray where I stand. Gray where I stand. If I let one thought step past the line, said it out loud instead of I'm fine, would it hold its shape in somebody's eyes, or thin out soft before it arrives? I test each word like it might not stay, put them back in a safer grave. Everyone else looks painted in full, talking easy, steady and full. I trace shadows on the side of the day, trying to feel like I'm not in the way. If tomorrow plays its back unplanned, they'll remember where the colors was ran. I'll be the blur they don't quite scan, here but distant, gray where I stand. Gray where I stand. Same bus stop, different kinds of light. Their jackets glow in the early white. Backpacks, briefcases, wired in hand. Soft talk, drifting in quiet strands. I stand a step from the yellow line, shoes lined up with the morning time. Still it feels like the colors gone, like I'm penciled in, lightly drawn. They fit the moment like it fits their skin. I feel traced on top, not written in. Same cold air, same waiting zone, but I read as grayscale alone. Feels like I'm the only one in monochrome, standing with the rest but not quite home. Their lives spill out in living shade, mine stay thin where the outlines fade. If you turn this day into one still frame, they'd catch your eye before my name. Small and quiet at the edge of a tone. I'm here, but I'm the only one in monochrome. I'm here, but I'm the only one in monochrome. Break room, hum at the middle of the day. Coffee, steam, twist in the usual way. Chairs pulled close round a borrowed joke. Plans drawn up in unfinished strokes. I stir my cup till the sound goes thin. Watch their hands move while the words sink in. Thoughts line up but they lose their spark. Fall back down where the corner's dark. I hold my answers in a shorter line. Trim, not gray down to I'm fine. Same small table, same plastic phone. Still I sit just out of tone. Feels like I'm the only one in monochrome, sharing the room but not the chrome. Their days play out in a richer shade. Mine keep close where the light won't stay. If you froze this hour as a single frame, they glow warm while I stay tame. Soft and distant where the colors roam. I'm here, but I'm the only one in monochrome. notice shape in somebody's eyes. Draw one thin line that finally ties. Or would it thin out before it's heard? Turn back gray like a swallowed word. So I keep my volume under the tone. Practice the art of being alone. Feels like I'm the only one in monochrome, walking beside them on the way back home. Street lights blink on, painted in gold. I stay quiet in a cooler fold. If tomorrow plays this all back slow, they'll recall the parts that glow. I'll be the figure passing on my own. Still here, still the only one in monochrome. Still the only one in monochrome. Speaking in full stop lines, clear bold letters in their shared design. Hands draw shapes in the open air. Stories land in the middle of the square. I sit close but a little aside. Smile held small like a folded guide. Words line up, then I shift them back. Turn the sharp truth into something slack. I'm here, but I write myself thin. Tiny print at the sentence rim. Same white page, same printed scene, but I keep my thoughts in between. I'm living in parentheses. Half a thought that no one needs. Small side note on a crowded page. Quiet ink at the paper's edge. If you read this day from start to end, you quote their lines and name their friends. I'd be the phrase that drifts and flees, soft and hidden, living in parentheses. Cafe glass holds our faint outline. Their colors clear, mine a light line. Chairs pull close and the talk runs warm. Every detail fits a familiar form. I think once, then I round it off. Turn this hurts into yeah, it's soft. Let the real parts slide out of frame. Keep the safest version of my name. I trim my sentences down to size. Leave the rest behind my eyes. Same small table, same worn sheen, but my heart speaks off the screen. I'm living in parentheses. Half a thought that no one needs. Small side note on a crowded page. Quiet ink at the paper's edge. If you read this day from start to end, you quote their lines and name their friends. I'd be the phrase that drifts and flees, soft and hidden, living in parentheses. If I stepped out of the curve one time, said a whole truth in a single line, would it sit there steady and clear? Find a place where it can stay near? Or would it smudge at the slightest glance? Fade back out of the main advance. So I fold my voice to a smaller guest. Keep my name in a quiet address. I'm living in parentheses. Heart on hold in smaller keys. They fill the center of every scene. I hold back where the ink runs lean. If tomorrow reads this page again, they'll recall the boldest pen. I'll still be that softer piece. One long sentence, living in parentheses. They talk in colors I can't name. Warm, thick strokes in a shed frame. Hands leave trails in a brighter hue. Every laugh lands solid and true. Sit nearby on the quieter side. Breath held small so it stays inside. If you trace me where I quietly stay, you'd only need one shade of gray. Same room, same air, same fading sun. Still I feel like the unfinished one. Lines too light to fully belong. Half a sketch and a finished song. I'm drawn in pencil on a painted day. Soft and outline that can fade away. They fill the canvas with a living tone. I stay faint like I'm barely known. You could lean in close and still not see where the graphite ends and turns to me. One small figure no one has to read. Drawn in pencil, waiting underneath. Voices mix like a steady stream. Thick with color, wide with gleam. I shape words once, then file them down. Turn them lost into it's fine for now. Their memories stack in a warmer light. Mine stay quiet, folded out of sight. If I wrote them where they'd show it last, the page might tremble from the past. And same slow hours, same empty cup, but my name never quite lines up. Like a note scribbled in the margin, thin, easy to miss when the story begins. I'm drawn in pencil on a painted day. Soft and outline that could fade away. They fill the canvas with a living tone. I stay faint like I'm barely known. You could lean in close and still not see where the graphite ends and turns to me. One small figure no one has to read. Drawn in pencil, waiting underneath. If I press the let down one time more, let the line run darker than before, would the shape hold steady where it lands? Find a place inside their open hands, or would the edge still blur and slide? Rubbed out gentle till it all hides, so I keep my weight on the lighter side. Thin and gray shadow, I don't confide. I'm drawn in pencil on a painted day. Here with them, but a step away. They move in colors that feel complete. I keep quiet where the edges meet. When this moment dries and the lights go home, they'll remember what was fully shown. I'll remain in the parts they leave. Drawn in pencil, easy to erase, hard to grieve. Talking colors that the day can hold. Soft warm shades in the moving fold. Hands write circles in the quiet air. Names fit easy in the open chair. I stand one step from the woven ring, close enough to hear most everything. But if you sketched us on a borrowed line, my outline thins where there's define. I'm in the picture but off to the side, feet and frame, heart in a different tide. Same soft glow on everyone's face. Still I fall just short of place. I keep living in the margin light, half in shadow, half in sight. They all read clear in the center spread. I'm the faded note they almost read. If you held this moment up to your eye, you see the colors first going by. I'm the quiet strip between wrong and right, small and distant, living in the margin light. Holds our shapes and thin. Their lines sharp where the edges begin. Laughter second late. Words stack up at the back of my teeth, lose their color on the way beneath. I trim it hurts down till I'm okay. File the rest where the shadows stay. They belong to the page like a printed claim. I sit close but outside the frame. Same low hum on the wooden floor. Still I'm written in smaller score. I keep living in the margin light, half in shadow, half in sight. They all read clear in the center spread. I'm the faded note they almost read. If you held this moment up to your eye, you see the colors first going by. I'm the quiet strip between wrong and right, small and distant, living in the margin light. If I cross one line toward the ink, say what I feel instead of what I think, would the page make space for a fuller tone? Lay one sentence where I'm not alone, or would that line blur out and bend, fade back soft to the side again? So I fold my voice to a thinner height, stay half hidden in the margin light. I keep living in the margin